I always believed that reading genomes was going to change medicine. I now know it. So what if we actually had real data? Instead of guessing and not sharing information among family members, what if we actually had family history? So my argument is that we should be using the DNA the way we use family history right now, right? As we think about other things we could do with that, I think society, we have to be mindful about what are we asking. I think we start with the basic principle of how do we use it as family history to help the patient today.
Like we could take an actual human sample and actually put their DNA on here, and it further sequence their entire genome. And with the capacity of technology today, we can actually do 12 whole human genomes in just a small chip in just 3 days. And what you're seeing right here is all these pictures here, the camera actually imaging all the little DNA molecules, and what it's doing is it's capturing every little what looks like a star constellation is actually where a DNA molecule is sitting. This could do 6 whole human genomes in just 3 days.
Actually, the Human Genome Project from the very beginning has had a part that's called ELSI, which is ethical, social, and legal implications of the genome. So there are scientists out there working on how do we communicate this information? What's it going to impact on society? How do we navigate this? And so I think we're trying to be as responsible as we can. And as we use the information that goes forth, well, how do we deal with privacy with it? What do we use with, what's appropriate use for this data? How does this fit in our healthcare system? And so all those things are processes that have to be worked out. But we're a long way from the day where we can say, oh yeah, Howard, you have this gene, you're absolutely going to get this disease, right? I think certainly in my children's lifetime, and they're in their 20s, this will happen. If it's going to be in my lifetime or not, I'm not sure. We'll have to see. This is what the reference looks like. So I should have an A in this position, okay? But there's 2 C's in this position instead. So that means that not only, because you have 2 copies, right? You have 2 copies of DNA. You have 2 strands, right? So I have one from your mom, one from your dad. So I should have 2 A's here, and I have 2 C's, okay? So what this says right here is that this variant has some information that's related to breast and ovarian cancer at this position. So if you were to go look this up, this is not medically actionable, okay? It's not defined as something that causes disease. But should that turn out to be the case, that now down the road it is, so now my family history is suddenly quite different now. Then the question would be, are any of either of my kids carrying this, and do you have to have 2 C's here in order to get the disease, or so it depends on, so that's the difference in the level of resolution you can have in your family health, right? So this is my family history at each level. Do you want to know this? I think that's up to everybody. I mean, I'm not ever going to say somebody should know this, but I do believe your physician can practice better medicine without this, right? So you could say, okay, I just want my doctor to know this information. So in 10 years, you're going to have the genome's going to be sequenced, and my prediction is, I don't know if it's 10 years, but certainly within 20 years, the day you're born, you get something that's called an AbbVie score, right? Which is basically a physical, how do you look, do you cry, are you pink, whatever. So what if we actually read your genome on the day that you're born? So we actually, for the rest of your life, there's a blueprint for your medicine. Do you think we could do a better job? I'm pretty confident. Everybody having a blueprint on the day they're born, medicine's just going to fundamentally change.